What if I told you the vegetables you've trusted for years could actually work against your body as you age? I know it sounds surprising. Peas, spinach, even corn, they've always been part of the healthy meal, right? But after 60, your body doesn't process food the same way. What once gave you energy might now be causing fatigue, bloating, or joint pain. And here's the part most people miss. One of those vegetables might be sitting in your fridge, quietly making things worse. We've been told all our lives that vegetables are good for us. And you know what? That is mostly true. But once you hit your 60s, things start to change. Your digestion slows down. Your kidneys work a little harder. Your blood sugar might be more sensitive than it used to be. So while those vegetables you used to love still have nutrients, they might also come with hidden problems. Spinach might raise your risk of kidney stones. Corn could spike your blood sugar. Even something as common as cabbage could upset your thyroid. It is not about fear. It is about awareness. Knowing how food affects your body now can help you stay stronger, feel better, and enjoy your meals with more confidence as you age. Let's be honest here. After 60, your body just does not work the way it used to. Digestion slows down. Your insulin response changes. Your kidneys might not flush things out as efficiently. It is not your fault, and it is not just getting older. It is biology. And here's the tricky part. Some vegetables that were great for you in your 30s or 40s might now be harder for your body to handle. You might eat a healthy salad and still feel bloated or exhausted afterward. That is not just a coincidence. That is your body sending a signal. For example, something like peas or corn might spike your blood sugar without you realizing it. Or raw kale might leave you feeling foggy because of its impact on your thyroid. These changes are subtle but real. You deserve to know how food affects your health today, not 20 years ago. That knowledge is power, and it starts right here in this video. Let's talk about peas. Those tiny green balls might seem like a harmless side dish. They are colorful, sweet, and packed with nutrients. You might toss them into soups or stews or serve them as a quick vegetable with dinner. But here is something many people do not realize, especially after turning 60. Peas can be sneaky. Why? First, they have a high glycemic load. That means they break down quickly into sugar after you eat them. If your body is already less responsive to insulin, as is common with age, this can cause your blood sugar to spike and then crash. You might feel tired or jittery without knowing why. Over time, these sugar swings can increase the risk of type 2 diabetes. But that is not all. Peas are also rich in purines. Your body breaks purines down into uric acid. If that builds up, it can settle into your joints and lead to gout. It can also form kidney stones. For someone already experiencing joint stiffness or kidney discomfort, this is important. Now, think about this. Have you ever felt bloated or gassy after eating peas? It might not be your imagination. Peas contain resistant starches and compounds called lectins. These are harder for aging digestive systems to break down. That can lead to fermentation in the gut, which causes gas and discomfort. You might think you're doing something healthy by adding peas to your plate, and in some cases, that is true. But if you're feeling tired, achy, or bloated after meals, peas might be part of the problem. The good news is you have options. Try swapping peas for green beans or lentils. Pay attention to how your body feels after the switch. Your digestion might improve. Your energy might bounce back. It is all about listening to your body and making choices that work for you now, not what worked 20 years ago. Now, let's talk about asparagus. It is one of those vegetables that seems to show up on every superfood list. Doctors praise it, health blogs love it, and it is often recommended for weight loss or heart health. But here's the catch. Just because it is good on paper does not mean it works for everyone, especially as we age. Asparagus has something most people overlook. It is a natural diuretic. That means it makes you urinate more often. Now, that might sound like a good thing, like it is flushing out toxins. But for seniors, that extra fluid loss can be a problem. Older adults already struggle with hydration. Your thirst signals are not as strong, and your body holds less water. So even a mild diuretic effect can leave you dehydrated without even realizing it. And what happens when you are dehydrated? Your joints might ache more. Your muscles cramp. You feel dizzy, maybe even confused. All of that can be made worse just by eating something like asparagus too frequently. There is more. Asparagus is high in purines. When your body breaks purines down, it creates uric acid. If you're sensitive or already dealing with joint inflammation, that uric acid can build up and trigger gout or worsen arthritis symptoms. It is one of those hidden contributors that most people do not connect to their dinner plate. Have you ever noticed you feel more tired or stiff after eating a healthy meal with asparagus? Maybe it is not just age. Maybe it is how your body is reacting now. The solution is not to cut asparagus out completely. Try eating it less often. Pair it with foods that help you stay hydrated, like cucumbers or watermelon. And always drink plenty of water when you eat. Aging well means learning what works for your body today and making smart adjustments that help you feel your best. Let's talk about corn. It is everywhere. Corn on the cob at summer cookouts. Popcorn during movie night. Cornbread, cornflakes, tortillas. It is comforting, familiar, and something most of us grew up with. But just because it is common does not mean it is always kind to your body, especially after age 60. One of the biggest issues with corn is its high glycemic index. In plain terms, that means it quickly turns into sugar in your bloodstream. And if you're already dealing with blood sugar concerns or insulin resistance, that spike can hit you hard. You might feel great for a short while, then crash, feeling tired, irritable, or even shaky. Corn is also tough on digestion. Have you ever noticed undigested corn in your stool? That is because our bodies have a hard time breaking down the outer shell. For older adults who may already have slower digestion, this can lead to bloating, gas, or discomfort after meals. Then there is the modern farming side. A lot of the corn in today's food supply is genetically modified and heavily treated with pesticides. These chemical residues, like glyphosate, have been linked to inflammation and gut imbalance. For someone already struggling with digestion or immune issues, that can make things worse. Corn also has a high amount of omega-6 fatty acids. In small amounts, these are fine, but too much can contribute to chronic inflammation, which is something many seniors are already trying to manage. Now, this is not about giving up corn completely. It is about being mindful. Choose organic corn when possible. Limit processed foods made with corn syrup or cornmeal. And if you love popcorn, try air popping it yourself at home. Your goal is to eat in a way that gives your body what it needs right now. And sometimes that means saying no to what used to be your go-to and yes to something that leaves you feeling better afterward. Mushrooms are one of those foods that people either love or avoid. They are earthy, rich, and often labeled as a superfood. You see them in stir-fries, soups, salads, and even coffee substitutes these days. And while they do have some great benefits like antioxidants and B vitamins, there are also some surprising risks, especially for older adults. One of the biggest things to understand about mushrooms is that they're natural absorbers. Like sponges, they soak up whatever is in the environment where they grow. If they are cultivated in soil that contains heavy metals or chemical residues, those toxins can make their way into your body when you eat them. For someone with a slower detox system or weakened kidney function, that exposure can quietly build up over time. Some mushrooms also contain a compound called agouti. This is found in common white button mushrooms, and in high amounts, it has been linked in some studies to potential cancer risks. Cooking can reduce aflatoxins, but a lot of people like to eat mushrooms raw in salads, which keeps that risk alive. And then there are the gut issues. Mushrooms contain fungal proteins that some people become sensitive to as they age. These proteins can lead to allergic responses like bloating, fatigue, brain fog, or even skin reactions. But because the symptoms come on slowly, most people do not think mushrooms could be to blame. Have you ever eaten mushrooms and then fell off the next day, but could not figure out why? It might not be the flu or your age. It might just be your body trying to say, this food is not working for me anymore. Try cooking your mushrooms thoroughly and choosing organic varieties when you can. And if you're still noticing issues, consider taking a break from them. It is not about cutting everything out. It is about tuning in and listening to what your body needs today. Cabbage is one of those vegetables that seems to pop up in every diet plan. It is low in calories, high in fiber, and often praised for being good for digestion. You might find it in coleslaw, soups, or even wrapped around fillings in stuffed cabbage rolls. But for many seniors, cabbage might not be the digestive hero it is made out to be. Here is what a lot of people do not know. Cabbage is part of the cruciferous vegetable family. That means it contains compounds called goitrogens. Goitrogens can interfere with the way your body uses iodine, which your thyroid needs to function properly. If you already have an underactive thyroid or hypothyroidism, eating a lot of raw cabbage could make you feel worse over time. That is not all. Cabbage also contains a sugar called raffinose. Raffinose ferments in the gut and can lead to gas, bloating, and even stomach cramps. And if your digestion has slowed down with age, those symptoms might hit you harder and last longer than they used to. Have you ever finished a bowl of raw cabbage salad and felt tight or bloated afterward? You're not imagining it. That discomfort could be your digestive system struggling with all the fiber and complex sugars in cabbage. Now, this does not mean cabbage is bad for everyone, but it does mean preparation matters. Fermented cabbage, like sauerkraut or kimchi, is easier to digest and comes with the bonus of probiotics, which helps support gut health. Cooking cabbage by boiling or steaming, it can also help reduce the effects of goitrogens and make it gentler on your stomach. So next time you reach for cabbage, think about how your body responded the last time. Your goal is not to cut everything out. It is to eat smarter. And when you do that, you give your body the support it needs to feel its best. Eggplant is one of those vegetables that people either love or skip. It soaks up flavors like a sponge, works well in Mediterranean cooking, and adds that creamy texture to dishes like eggplant parmesan. But for older adults, eggplant might not always be as friendly as it looks. Here's why. Eggplant is part of the nightshade family. That includes other vegetables like tomatoes, potatoes, and bell peppers. Nightshades contain a natural compound called solanine. For some people, especially those who already deal with joint pain, solanine can make things worse. It has been known to trigger inflammation, increase stiffness, or even cause flare-ups in conditions like arthritis. Eggplant also contains oxalates. These compounds are a problem for anyone prone to kidney stones. Oxalates can combine with calcium in the body and form crystals. If your kidneys are not filtering efficiently, those crystals can become painful stones. Another thing to keep in mind is digestion. Eggplant has tough skin and small seeds, which can be irritating for sensitive stomachs. If you already struggle with bloating, acid reflux, or just slower digestion, eating eggplant might leave you feeling heavy or uncomfortable after a meal. So, how do you know if eggplant is causing you problems? Think about how you feel after eating it. Are your joints more swollen the next day? Do you feel bloated or sluggish? These might be signs your body is not handling it well anymore. The good news is you do not have to give up eggplant entirely. If you love it, try peeling it first. Roasting, baking, or grilling can help break down the compounds that are harder to digest. And if it continues to bother you, consider swapping it out with zucchini or squash, which tend to be easier on the body. Small changes can lead to big relief. The key is paying attention to how food makes you feel and adjusting based on what your body needs today. Potatoes are one of the most comforting foods out there. Mashed, baked, roasted, or fried, they've been a staple on dinner tables for generations. But while they are warm and familiar, they might not be the best choice for your body after 60. One big reason is their glycemic index. Potatoes rank very high on that scale. That means they convert into sugar fast, which causes a spike in your blood sugar. For people managing prediabetes, type 2 diabetes, or even just low energy, that sugar spike can leave you feeling great for an hour and then completely drained after. It is like riding a blood sugar roller coaster. And it gets worse when potatoes are fried. Think French fries, hash browns, and potato chips. When potatoes are cooked at high temperatures, they form acrylamides. These are chemical compounds linked to inflammation and even some forms of cancer. If you're already dealing with joint pain, fried potatoes might be making that inflammation worse without you realizing it. Even plain baked potatoes can be tricky. If you peel the skin, you are removing most of the fiber. And without fiber, the sugars in the potato hit your system even faster. That means more spikes, more crashes, and less balance in your day. Have you ever eaten a big potato-heavy meal and felt sleepy or bloated afterward? That is your body trying to tell you something. The good news is you have options. Sweet potatoes are a great alternative. They are lower on the glycemic index and packed with antioxidants and beta-carotene. If you still enjoy regular potatoes, try leaving the skin on and boiling or baking them instead of frying. Pair them with healthy fats or proteins to help slow down sugar absorption. It is not about cutting out comfort food. It is about choosing smarter versions that work better for your body today. And once you start feeling the difference, you'll be glad you made the switch. Spinach has been the poster child for healthy eating for decades. We have all heard how it builds strength, helps your blood, and keeps your body loaded with vitamins. And a lot of that is true. Spinach is full of iron, magnesium, and antioxidants. But here is something most people do not realize. For older adults, too much spinach can backfire. One big issue is oxalates. Spinach is packed with them. Oxalates are natural compounds that can bind with calcium in your body and create kidney stones. For people over 60 whose kidneys might not filter as well as they used to, this is a real concern. Kidney stones are painful, and once you have had one, you'll want to avoid them at all costs. Oxalates can also block your body from absorbing calcium, and that matters because strong bones are key as you get older. If your body cannot absorb enough calcium, your risk of osteoporosis goes up. So, eating spinach every day, thinking you are helping your bones, might actually be doing the opposite. Another issue is how spinach is usually eaten. A lot of folks throw it into smoothies raw, but raw spinach has the highest levels of oxalates. That green smoothie might be refreshing, but it could also be making things worse for your kidneys and your bones. So what can you do? You do not have to stop eating spinach, but it is smart to rotate your greens. Mix in romaine, arugula, or butter lettuce. And when you do eat spinach, cook it. Boiling or steaming reduces oxalates significantly. Also, try pairing spinach with calcium-rich foods like cheese or yogurt to help offset the oxalate effect. It is all about balance. Spinach is not the enemy, but if you're over 60, your body might need you to be a little more mindful about how much you eat and how you prepare it. Kale has had its moment in the spotlight. From green smoothies to kale chips, it has become the poster child for clean eating. And to be fair, kale is packed with vitamins A, C, and K, along with fiber and antioxidants. But for people over 60, too much kale might not be as harmless as it seems. Here's the thing. Kale, like spinach, is high in oxalates. These natural compounds can contribute to the formation of kidney stones, especially if you're eating a lot of raw kale every day. And kidney stones are not just painful. They can seriously affect your quality of life if they become a recurring issue. Kale is also a goitrogenic vegetable. That means it contains substances that can interfere with the thyroid's ability to absorb iodine, which is essential for hormone production. If you have a sluggish thyroid, eating too much raw kale might make you feel more tired, gain weight more easily, or even feel mentally foggy. And let's talk digestion. Raw kale can be pretty tough. It is fibrous, chewy, and not the easiest thing for an aging digestive system to break down. If you're noticing bloating, cramping, or just feeling off after that daily kale salad, your gut might be trying to tell you something. So what should you do? You do not have to ditch kale altogether. Try cooking it instead. Lightly sautéing, steaming, or adding it to soups can help break down those difficult compounds and make kale easier to digest. Also, consider rotating it with other greens like chard, arugula, or romaine to keep your meals balanced. Being healthy is not about following the latest trend. It is about paying attention to your body, especially as it changes with age. Kale can still be part of your life. It just might need to take a smaller role on your plate from time to time. Bell peppers are some of the most colorful and cheerful vegetables you can put on a plate. Red, yellow, green, and orange. They brighten up everything from salads to stir-fries. They're crunchy, slightly sweet, and full of vitamin C. But for some people over 60, these vibrant veggies might be doing more harm than good. One of the first things to consider is digestion. Bell peppers have tough outer skins that can be hard to break down, especially for older adults who may already have slower digestive systems. If you're noticing bloating, stomach discomfort, or acid reflux after meals with bell peppers, their tough texture might be to blame. There's also the issue of inflammation. Bell peppers are part of the nightshade family, which includes other vegetables like eggplant and tomatoes. Nightshades contain solanine, a natural compound that has been linked to inflammation in sensitive individuals. If you already deal with joint stiffness or autoimmune conditions, bell peppers might be triggering flare-ups without you realizing it. Some people even develop mild food sensitivities as they age. Bell peppers can cause symptoms like sinus congestion, skin irritation, or general fatigue. These are easy to dismiss as seasonal allergies or just part of getting older, but your body may be reacting to what you are eating. So what can you do? You do not need to eliminate bell peppers. Try roasting or peeling them before eating. Cooking softens their texture and may make them easier to digest. If they continue to cause issues, try swapping them out for vegetables like zucchini or carrots, which are gentler on the stomach. Being healthy as you age is not just about what you eat. It is about how your body responds to it. And paying attention to those signals, even when the food seems healthy, is one of the best things you can do for your long-term comfort and wellness. You have probably been eating these vegetables for years without thinking twice. Spinach in your salad, corn on the cob in summer, maybe some mashed potatoes on a cozy evening. They are familiar, comforting, and have always been considered healthy. But here is the twist. Your body has changed, and those same vegetables might not be serving you the way they used to. Maybe you've been feeling more tired than usual, or your joints ache a little more after certain meals. Maybe bloating has become a regular part of your day. The truth is, it might not just be aging. It might be your body trying to get your attention. This is your moment to pause and reevaluate. You do not need to fear food, but you do need to listen to your body. With a few smart changes, cooking differently, swapping certain veggies, or simply eating less of something, you can start feeling clearer, lighter, and more energized every single day. Here is the bottom line. Vegetables are still an important part of a healthy diet, but your body at 60 or 70 is not the same as it was at 30. Some veggies that once gave you energy and comfort might now cause bloating, fatigue, or joint pain. That does not mean you have to stop eating them forever. It just means it is time to rethink how you prepare them, how often you eat them, and how your body responds afterward. Making small changes like cooking instead of eating raw, swapping for gentler options, or rotating your greens can have a big impact. When you understand what your body needs now, you can eat smarter, feel better, and enjoy your meals with more confidence. Now I want to hear from you. Did any of these vegetables surprise you? Maybe you have noticed bloating after peas or joint pain after eggplant, but never made the connection. Share your experience in the comments. You never know who you might help by speaking up. And if this video gave you something new to think about, go ahead and like, share, and subscribe. We are building a space where smart, healthy aging is something we all do together.